This is not easy. It's not going to stop, and no one is going to save me. No one's going to come and save you. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast. Today, we are talking about the journey, the transformation that you need to go through to go from the startup, early pre-$1 million practice to that $2 million practice. What steps do you need to take? What roadblocks and obstacles are in your way? I'll kind of break down what I've experienced, what I've learned. We have the closing thought of the episode. This is the Ultimate OD podcast. Here we go. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast. Kind of a reflection episode today. You're going to get some value out of it, but it's something that I've realized over the past year, half a year, we'll call it a year. I've had some great growth. Like, things are going well. We moved to the new office in October, and we added an associate. I am currently, I don't know what's gotten into me, but got a lot of juice right now, trying to add another associate before the end of the year. This one might be more of a full-time position. I am really liking what I can do outside the office. And we've talked in past episodes about where is your value. And what I've realized is that I can train someone to see patients in the way that I do and be relatively similar to what I do. I think with time, really no loss there. But it's a daily effort to get the staff to roll in the same direction, to be the office culture that I want it to be great. Now, that is not scalable at this point, but it's something that I'm working on doing, and that's where I'm putting a lot of energy. The moral of this story, though, is this is not easy. It's not going to stop, and no one is going to save me. No one's going to come and save you, right? I'll say that again for the people in the back. This is not easy. There's not going to be a time where you get to a point and you're like, oh, I've made it, I'm done. Or someone's going to swoop in and say, here are all the answers. The problems or issues are a feature, not a bug. It's what the business is, okay? And what I've realized, and I'm like, oh, it's just a season or what's going on. I'm back to like literally waking up at 2:30 in the morning and just wide awake, and I'm like, what's going on? But then my mind starts racing, conversations I need to have, changes we need to make, how do we maximize this? And it's fun, but there was a point there before I had moved. I really wanted to get bigger. I knew I wanted to grow. I was stagnant, but I was sleeping easy at night. I was just going through the motions, but I wasn't fulfilled. Okay? So this is going to be more of a positive episode than what it's starting off here. But you need to know what you're walking into, right? And what it affords you. When you hear what I'm doing with the extra time and stuff like that, you're going to be like, that sounds like a great life. And it really is, but I want to be at that elite level. I want to be at the highest level. I have a lot of trouble accepting less than my ideal, okay? So the easy part is the vision and having the dream. Okay, I mean, I can tell you till I'm blue in the face what my vision is, what the dream is, how many doors I want to have, the way the things are going to operate. The hard part is the execution, making it actually happen, and persistence. Like, because you get things going, you get things rolling, and what I've seen is we're starting to roll, but I'm exhausted. Like, literally exhausted at the end of the night. I remember on a Thursday, we got done with the week. I got done with the meeting, and I was sitting there. We had some good week. Staff is there. I saw a crap ton of patients. I saw, like, on Monday, 31 patients, 24 of them comps. Then I saw 20 comps plus some additional red eyes, and then like 18 comps. And then I had like one-on-one meetings with my managers and with the staff and all of that. And I got home and I was just literally sitting in a chair. It was a beautiful, beautiful night out. And my wife, per her usual, looks at me and she's like, hey, you want to go for a walk? And I literally just looked up at her and said, no. And she's like, alrighty then. And she went for a walk, came back, and I was literally just sitting there with a Kirkland brand sparkling water, staring out the window, looking at the lake, feeling exhausted, but just taking it all in. And that's just the mindset, the drain that has been to have a staff of 9 people, eight staff and one associate, and getting them all to be better, to be the best they can be, to pull out their max potential. And it's fun. I love it. But to do that with seeing patients is exhausting. So I made the call. I'm like, it's time. Right? I'm going to add an associate, and this one might be more of a full time. My other associate is producing, doing fine. I gotta cut my schedule down. So I went from 60 comps, time down to almost like 40 to 44. Cut that down. Gonna fill up my associate that's currently working with me, but we're gonna fill up the other doctor, right? That we're adding. She's gonna, or he, whoever ends up joining the practice, is going to just help us grow. And I'm gonna focus more on the dry eye aspect. So I have the vision, right? I know what's gonna happen. I look at a year from now when we've pre-appointed, we're busy by our standards already next year, and we are just going to keep adding new patients. For the year, we're up 40% new patients, 15% overall. That's a good rate of increase. We're doing exactly what I want to do, and this is where being the CEO, having that foresight of what's coming, and not reacting, but being proactive in my game plan. That's strategy, right? So I'm going after it. I know I may eat it a little bit in the beginning, but I'm investing in the future. I just have to accept that, right? So I have a couple of tips that I think have helped me, and I want to put them out there to you. Number one, the hard part of the vision is making it simple. All right, making it so everyone can understand and absorb it. Making something simple is really stinking hard. Right? That's where the effort is. But you have to simplify it so everyone else around you can understand. When I used to try to sell people on my vision, it was so convoluted, so big that I got it, but they would look at me and kind of not buy in. But now I have it down, right? If they come and talk to me, I talk about my core values, what we stand for as an office, how we're going to operate. And I swear to you, I see people light up. They get it. Now, it's taken a lot of effort. My elevator speech that is there, right? They all get it. And because it's simple, they can buy in. But I swear I am the biggest broken drum ever. You call me the CRO, Chief Reminding Officer, right? All I do is remind people of the vision. But it's working, right? You feel stupid. You think in your head, well, I told you, you should know what we're doing. But it doesn't work that way. You tell them, then you show them, and then you tell them some more. So, for example, our core values, I shout it out whenever I see it. This is what I want you to do. That's great. This is a representation of teamwork. This is a representation of care, of timeliness, right? And then, like, hey, do you guys see any of that? Call it out when you see it. We have a board now where we shout each other out, and it was, think of the top of the fridge, the freezer section, just a little bit. Now it literally is the whole fridge. Like, we have a double-decker layer of shout-outs. I'm like, this is getting a little excessive. But then I think about it, and like, that's the point, right? And they're getting it. They're embracing it. They know this is what we stand for. Building a culture is really stinking hard when you have a bigger staff. But getting them to know what is expected, well, this will be another podcast, rules versus standards, but getting to know what the standard is how you can scale this, right? Because eventually I'm going to pull myself out of this practice as much as I am and start another one. or acquire another practice. And I'm going to have to instill the same mission, the same values, but I'm learning the playbook right now. Now, that's step one, making it simple and then pounding the drum. Right? I guess that's 1 and 2, whatever you want it to be. But make it simple, pound the drum. The next thing is, and this is the hard part. This is why I think I lose sleep at night sometimes, is that you have to have hard conversations. You do not grow without pain. You're either coaching it or you're letting it happen. So if you see someone that you have these core values, you're reminding them, and then you have someone, the black sheep, that's not doing what you say, or you're not doing what you say, tears it all apart. Got to start all over. So I literally went in when I'm like, I'm instituting this, and I'll blow this whole thing up and start over. I was that committed to it. I still am. Right? That's the hard part is I see us making progress. I see the steps forward, but I see the black sheep, and it bothers the crap out of me. I'd like to just get rid of them, just. But then you have to take a step back and look at the business, right? So there's these hard conversations that you have to have. You have to tackle it head on, but you have to be calculated, right? This is where strategy comes in, right? Old me, just have the conversation, blow it all up, and at ground zero, that I literally, you had to do it, right? If everyone was not believing, I was going to start over and get people on the team that believed in the mission. And thankfully, everyone really does. We have a few people that aren't quite with us 100%. They're not all in. I'll get them there or they won't be here. Period. But when you see progress, you have to let that take hold. You have to give yourself runway. So there's hard conversations, but then you need to be strategic about it. And the strategy comes in giving yourself length, giving yourself time. Okay? We're all going to be there, but instead of, saying it's by tomorrow, we have until the end of the year. What does that do? It gives the people that are believing in it a chance to acquire the skills. They'll invariably get better. They'll know. And the cool thing is, once you get the majority of the people rowing in the same direction, the bad seeds, the bad apples, the people that don't go all in, they just don't fit into the business. They don't want to be there. They don't believe. They're going to weed themselves out for you. Everyone already sees it. They may be the last one to know, but everyone else is looking at them and be like, why aren't they buying into the program as well? Right? Now, if it's really detrimental, if they're in a position of leadership and they're, taking what you say and always going against the grain, you gotta cut that out. Like there's times when you be strategic and calculated, and there's times when you just don't fit, and you're hurting us rather than helping us in a big way, right? I'm not saying allow that, but if it's just little things, subtle comments, subtle jabs, I lose sleep. They're hard conversations I want to have, but again, calculated, approaching from the side, not going head on, right? Giving them an opportunity to grow. Because I do believe in them. I do think they can get there. They have the ability. It's just, do they want to? Maybe it will click, maybe it won't. But when we make that decision, everyone else around them will be strong enough that it won't cripple us to the same extent. So that's kind of the thing. And then really, when you bring new people on, you have to be all in from the get-go. So those are things that I've been doing that I think have really helped me. But I've realized this isn't easy. This isn't going to stop, and no one's coming to save me. I guess the savior could be if you really find someone that's talented, that believes in the mission and can help bang the drum for you, which I have found someone in the office that I think is there, but needs time to develop as well, right? So that's why we're building the building the momentum, building the machine. And when it comes to these things, your vision, your dream is big, and you always want to be there. But when you look at progress, think small. Were we better than we were yesterday? And honestly, I'm a month into this, and when I look a month ago, I'm leaps and bounds ahead of where I am. If I was where I'm at now a month ago, I don't know if I would have put so much energy and effort into this. I'm like, oh, we're pretty sinking good. But because it was so bad and I've seen such a change and difference, I'm that maniac right now. I'm going after it. And I see a difference in the quality of care. And I know that if this is authentic, this is who we are unbeatable. You cannot match authentic passion. And that's what I'm creating, right? So the moral of this story is you're going to hit a point in your practice when you want to go to the next level, right? You might already be there. I'm guessing most of the people that listen to this aren't having multiple doors. I don't think I provide value to you yet. I think I will eventually. That's what I want to get to, and I'll have more experience. But where I'm at, where I'm talking to, is the person that wants to start a practice, that just started a practice, or has a practice for a while, and they haven't got past being a one doctor practice and growing, right? Closing in that $2 million revenue. I think that's who I'm speaking to right now. And a lot of that is really understanding what I just outlined and knowing that you're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to see yourself in a different light, and you're going to have to change your roles and responsibilities. I'm spending so much less time in the exam room, but having such a bigger impact on my business. That's weird to think about, isn't it? Because we think that exams are how you drive revenue, exams are how you make the impact. They are maybe for that early stage, but when you get to this next level, you do more when you're outside of that. The strategy I've been able to have, the foresight, the ability to recruit other doctors, to refine this messaging, to get the whole staff on board, the things needed to scale are because I've took a step back. I've trusted the other doctor. I've got better systems in place. They're not where they need to be, but we're working on that. And I'm finding a new passion, a new joy, a new energy. So that's the evolution of this business. And you know what? I'm fully aware. Never gonna stop. I get to that next thing, I get this under wraps, and you know what's gonna happen? The same thing that happened when I was just before this stage. You're gonna get bored. You're gonna get complacent, and you're gonna want to do more. So I hope this provides some foresight to you, gives you some guidance, some direction. Send me a message, ask me, things specific to your situation. I love to talk about it. We'll have more for you next week. Where has the time gone? We are to the closing thought of the episode, and I will leave you with this thought. And this is a great thought for this episode, is that the happiness that you are seeking is in the striving, the mission, right? A lot of times, what I've gathered is that when you get to that top of the mountain, when you get to that pinnacle, you're like, once I get there, once I get this, I'm going to be happy. It's all going to be better. And how many times we're still going on, right? We've reached that goal. We've hit that pinnacle. We've graduated optometry school. And you're like, I'm not fulfilled. I'm not happy, right? And you look back and you're like, it was the striving to graduate, the pursuit of being a doctor, the pursuit of your own practice, of hitting $1 million mark. And then you get it and you're not fulfilled. It's the mission. It's the journey. And I think that's where a lot of successful people look at on paper, but if they can't find that mission, that passion, the journey, they suffer with anxiety, depression. that are unfulfilled. Realizing that is probably the biggest superpower you can have, because then you won't let yourself think that the destination is the end. It's just the next step. I found it really profound when I realized that, when I read that and came across it and just understood myself. I've always liked that process. So I'm trying now to put new challenges, new goals in place. So even when I hit that one mark, I already have the next thing planned. And again, you can make that depressing, anxiety filled, horrible as well. But if you do it with strategy, with strategic thinking, I think it'll be better for it. So chew on that, see if it applies to you. That's what I have for you. Dr. Lily out.